Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's Dynamite Blitz. Today, we're going to start off with a little bit of a collision review, if you will. We attended the one in Milwaukee last Saturday here, so we got to see all kinds of cool wrestlers: Tony Storms, Kevin Knights, Jay Whites, Adam Coles, many outrunners and Ring of Honors, all kinds of cool stuff.
Danny Garcia,
all kinds of cool stuffs.
Some Ring of Honor, too.
Ring of Honor before and after. Decent seats.
Yeah,
Drunks
good
next
crowd.
to us.
Yeah.
Good, yeah. Overall, it was a good experience. Seat fillers were a little odd. It seemed like they got, like, special first attentions ahead of ticket payers. Somewhat, I didn't care for that. But there weren't many, folks. 30 tops. So people actually bought tickets to go see the show. And it wasn't all empty stands on one side either. They had people throughout the whole arena, which was fine. Yeah. It was actually loud in there. Good cool experience. Definitely going back. Not Chicago, a little Milwaukee, but overall cool, correct?
Yes, I agree. Believe it or not, I actually had fun going out. Can you believe that?
No, I still don't.
Yeah, I did. Good time. Adepticon was happening at the same time, so it was a double freaking whammy for JB here. Gotta love the Warhammer. But Collision was awesome. Definitely agree with going to that again. But it's time for Dynamite, guys.
All right, let's get this thing started. We get a little hot start, if you will. Some tornado tag. We're getting a mixed tag match here. Getting Mox and Marina versus Willow and Swerve. This one starts hot outside. Willow and Marina end up starting the match finally inside the ring. Get that one started. I thought the Joneses between Taz and Shivani on that one were good back and forth with all kinds of stupid Jones comments.
Yeah, they had a wild night.
That was good. Willow hit a cool little triple power bomb with a suplex on
all of them.
Swerve was getting a suplex in the whole thing in the end there. Dumped them all, which was really cool. Swerve hits the curtain call on Marina curtain call. Man, the house call. It's not gold dust here. It's the house call on Marina. She kind of jumps in and takes one for the team, if you will, making Mox get through there. Willow puts Mox through a table. Did not see it on live camera. The production value was a little bit odd there. They should have done a split there, and a spot ski was planned out and split the TV so you could see both. That should be done ahead of time, Tony. July 1st. She hits the powerbomb for the win there. Afterward, what do we get?
Afterwards, there was some more action because in this match, you actually had some of the women and men hitting each other. So after said match, Jon Moxley gets Willow in a DDT, and kind of surprising that happened. Swerve couldn't believe it. Big stare down, and Moxley just kind of slinks out real quick because everybody's in shock. And then we have a whole night of checking in on Willow every once in a while backstage.
Yeah, got some asshole chants out there as well.
Yeah.
For Mox doing that was uncalled for, unwarranted.
Well, was it though? Because Willow did hit him into the table, even though he missed it.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You don't touch Willow. She's a saint.
Okay.
Cutting to Seg 2, FTR is backstage with Renee Paquette.
Yes, yep. We had Dax wanting to apologize for his transgression, which we saw on Saturday.
Live.
Yes, live. He kind of went after Paul Turner after the match that he lost against Wheeler Yuter, and he had to pay a $10,000 fine. He decided he wanted to pay that in person. It was kind of getting a little, not fresh, but maybe a little too light considering the situation with Paul, but paid him the $10,000 and then wanted to basically pump up the match and talk about the history with FTR, and Cash was kind of not having it. Didn't seem to into the conversation, and basically told him, we're going to do this trios match at Dynasty, but after that, we're going to have a talky poo about the future.
Big time talk, big time.
So we'll see. We'll see.
An FTR split coming, unknown.
Yep.
Moving on to some matches here. We're getting Timeless versus Penelope Ford. We saw this kind of happen on Collision. Penelope interrupted Tony and took her down.
Yeah.
Bane came in afterward. I thought another good match between, they kind of had some interactions before, but Penelope is looking solid once again. Good back and forth in there. Penelope goes for a little licky poo, and Tony bites tongue, and they lock up there for a little bit of time.
Yeah, that got Tony Schiavone
Got
perplexed on that
boned
one.
up on that one.
Yep.
He was chubbing.
He was.
Hip attack. Penelope kicks out of that one. Ends up getting Storm Zero for the win on her.
Yep.
Bane in white shows up. All white, looks very nice.
Yep.
Very nice.
Hot dog tan, white, and staring Tony down.
Yeah, it looked really good. Like I said, once again, Ford improving week in, week out, and digging her.
Yep.
What she's doing it well.
Athletic.
Very much, very much. Next, we're getting back to Renee backstage with Swerve and Will with the check-ons. Yeah. Swerve wants Mox by the end of the night. End of the night, folks.
The hunt is on for Mox. We'll see if it completes.
We'll find out. Next, we get MVP and Bobby come out. No Shelton, some travel issues with the weather down there.
Yeah.
You get MJF. He comes out there. He's kind of saying we should help each other out there, talking to Montel.
Yeah.
Says Pure is not a real place. It's part of his promo. Epic words. Bobby basically gets out there and says he hates him, doesn't want to work with them, doesn't need his help. And MJF thinks he needs to prove himself, so we'll see what actually happens here coming up.
Yeah.
There might be a match at Dynasty where MJF could prove his worth.
That's what I'm guessing.
Unknown. Moving right into as
they're walking out.
Big Bill, Brian Keith interrupt during their entrance there. Just a squash match. No one even knew who these guys were, how they got in the ring.
Poor guys were somehow, I'm guessing, in the stands or something.
Yeah, I don't know where they came from. Who knows? Under the ring.
Yep.
Sit there until this time. Just a squash match with Syndicate watching there.
Yeah.
Big Bill. I like the Big Bill gets in the corner, throws said opponent into Brian Keith with the big knee strike. I kind of like that move between the two of them. Fits well. Maybe setting up the match at Dynasty with all these guys. We'll find out here in the end, maybe. Unknown. We're going backstage with Renee again with Monet and what happens with Monet.
Monet is talking about the Owen tourney and who's in it and her match coming up against Julia. And then out of nowhere, we get Harley with the mini puppet Monet. And she's kind of offering a little tag team action, trying to get a name going. And Monet still kind of seems not into it, but
she likes it.
She likes it, and we are getting a tag match.
What's the new name for the tag team?
What was the new name? It was like
the Monet Wrath Train.
Yeah. Nobody seemed to dig it.
No, she comes up with weird names, but they're funny.
We'll see.
It's good. They're good. Moving on to a little tag team action here. You're getting Ospreay and the Jet, Kevin Knight, versus Blake Christian and Shotty Lee Johnson.
Yeah.
I thought overall solid match, good action. Everyone I thought gelled well.
Yes.
Kind of hit smooth, very smooth throughout the night. Kevin Knight gets the pin on Lee for the win. Solid match, all good. I think Shotty looks solid, which you don't see him much.
Yeah,
They're giving more to Blake, and he's looking real
smooth,
clean out there. Ospreay per tradish.
Yeah.
Knight, I'm looking forward to seeing more of Knight.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
I want to see what Knight can do. Schiavone comes out afterward, and they announce the first round of the Owen, which we'll get into.
Yeah.
Ospreay and Knight will be at Dynasty, so that's announced. We'll go through all these things in the end here. But overall, solid. You enjoyed?
Yeah. The swagger that Blake Christensen had is, I'm digging it. Even though he's baby vanilla. He is kind of
vanilla,
kind of tiny, kind of not, but he had a pretty sweet corkscrew tope at one point. But yeah, the springboard lariat, that was the first time I've seen Knight's finishing move. That's pretty cool. So excited about that acquisition. We'll see. He's got a tough draw for the first round in the Owen, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, pretty good. Next, we're going back to the Ops backstage.
Yeah.
Sitting there, basically saying they're going to be on the prowl during Dynasty,
Yeah.
overlooking some items, maybe looking at that Trios Championship, see what happens there. Maybe the Ops comes in and snakes it.
Yeah. Sounds like they might be looking for recruits too, maybe.
Could be some recruitments.
Yeah.
Could be some recruitments. Unknown.
Yeah.
Moving on to another good meat match, if you will. Archer with Callis coming out with him, and Brody King. Decent, I thought, overall. Good meat match it was. I love both these guys. Anyway, hard hits. First chops of the night between these guys, and they were some good ones.
Yes.
Real good ones. Both guys, I thought, delivered. Went longer than I thought. Usually don't give Archer long matches. He comes out and destroys. Let the guy work. Let him work.
Kickouts, yeah.
Yeah, let him work. Ending was good. Many near falls. In the end, Brody gets the victory there. I dug that whole match. Archer needs more wrestling time. The man can work. Let him work.
Fortunately, his partner's hurt, I guess.
That's okay. He can take on two people. Everybody dies. Moving on. We're getting to the main event. I'm just going to talk about Cope's sweet green and black gear, and I'll turn it over here. You can go through the whole match there, and we'll meet up in the end.
You just want to talk about Cope's green gear and nobody else's gear?
Just Cope's. That's all I have marked on mine is Cope's.
Okay, you could do that.
Just Cope's. All right, talk about your medals of honors.
All right, well, Cope came out. His outfit was pretty cool. And then Claudio came out rocking the Purity seals with, I believe, possibly a Black Templar seal from Warhammer. So good on you, Claudio. Good stuff. Anyway, Claudio, once he got in the ring, pretty much went straight at Cope and beating him down for a while. A lot of back and forth. Those guys went a pretty long time. Obviously, Claudio has not had an issue, but seeing Cope still go as long as he did was pretty impressive. They had a pretty sweet, like a wrist hold segment where they were basically holding on to each other's wrist and slamming each other with all sorts of hits. That went on for a while. Then Cope had a pretty big bulldog from the top rope that looked kind of scary on the old legs.
His legs are strong. Yeah, strong legs.
They're strong, but let's be careful.
Also did the spear through the ropes on the outside.
That was wild.
He's still getting her done.
Yeah, gotta be careful though. But Claudio got poked in the eye at the end from that led to a big old swing that Cope ended up kicking out of, which I guess he kind of figured, but not too many people have kicked out of the giant swing, have they?
It was a good swing.
Yeah.
It was a good swing.
Yep. Claudio eventually gets Cope in a sharpshooter that gets transitioned into a crossface. Pretty good transition. And then it also got countered by Cope into his own submission. Some graveyard, looked like a crossface of some sort.
It's not a crossface.
Yeah.
Crossface.
Had a spooky name. They were throwing weird names out all night. I don't know if any of it's even real.
Could have been a judo chop.
Yep, a lot of judo. But yeah, Claudio hit a gigantic power slam on the apron, which
didn't look good.
No, it did not. Yeah, ouch. But Cope gets a few big kickouts and a rope break at the end, and he actually hit a low blow on Claudio when the ref was distracted. Kind of interesting. But then your traditional spear and 1, 2, 3. That was it for Claudio, but did some damage, I think, to Cope. Good match. I enjoyed it.
It was good, longer than I expected.
Yeah. Yep.
Good, solid end.
And we still had one more segment after that, didn't we?
We cut back to a little bit of Renee backstage with Swerve. He's still looking for Mox.
Yeah.
We get Hangman coming out of there again with his new haircut. Looks sweet. Still vowing he's not going to let Swerve win that title.
Yeah.
Doesn't want to give it to him. They kind of go back and forth. Swerve says
about their history.
Hangman says, you broke into my house. And Swerve's like, you burned down my house. And then Swerve's like, you're right, I did deserve the house burned down. Okay. And Hangman kind of stares, and it was very interesting. Maybe they'll be good together going forward. Maybe something. Maybe
some point. Seeds planted. We'll see.
Yeah, I think he's gonna screw Swerve with that now. He might help Swerve win that belt. Maybe
we'll see.
Unknown. Yeah. Ends up being the end there. Mox does show up with the Death Riders.
Very much so.
Destroys Swerve, throws him through some glass. maybe real, unknown Phil. You should call. Check on that quick. Bring him back to the ring. Another beat down of the ring from everyone. They do a power bomb onto more glass.
Yet more glass, folks.
Inside of the ring.
Yeah. But
inside of the ring.
As they're walking away, Swerve...
Undertaker rise.
Yeah, pretty much. He looks ready.
He's back on his feet, glass in the back and all. Yeah. Ended up being pretty good. The match was good. Backstage afterward, kept it going, leading into Dynasty. I thought the ending was solid.
Yeah, I thought we weren't gonna find Mox, but Mox found them.
That's how she goes.
Yep.
Moving on to everyone's favorite segment of the night, the choppiest match. I think we're both in agreement, Brody and Archer.
Yeah.
Archer left with some good bruises over here from those chops outside. Yeah. That was really the only match with chops. The women had some slaps.
Yeah, a few
overhand slaps.
Yeah.
Cat slaps. High spot of the night for me. I'm kind of tying it up here. I thought Ospreay and Knight, Christian and Johnson was good. And the main event, in the end, was also very good. So I'm going to kind of give it a tie. For me, those are the two good ones for me of the night.
Yeah, I kind of unfortunately have to pretty much agree with you on that one. I'm surprised. I'd say honorable mention was the Tony Storm Penelope Ford. That match was smooth and fun.
I thought it was good.
Yeah, but I was actually surprised that the Claudio Cope match was as good as it was to my wrestling senses. Did not expect that, so that was pretty cool. Yeah, Warhammer helps too for this guy, so keep it up, Claudio.
Yeah, I thought that was good. Low spots, I really don't have. I couldn't really pick one.
I guess finding out Jay White's injured, that's a low spot.
That's a low spot. Yeah. Maybe like the mixed tag.
Yeah, it was a little...
Could have been more, a little lackluster, realistically.
Yeah.
Maybe more hits during the match, not afterward.
Yeah, get the camera angles.
And I kind of felt like you were going to get some good male on female hits, and they kind of like backed away. They had moves set up, ready to finish. They kind of backed away, so... Maybe a little more out of that next time when you throw it in there.
They didn't go full indie, right?
Not full indie. We're close. Not full. It was okay.
Yep.
Let's move on to let's hit up
Stag's gonna show the tourney.
Yeah, we'll do the Owen male and female versions, if you will. Starting out with the females, you're getting on one side of the bracket, Jamie Hayter versus Billy Starks.
Which we saw at Collision on.
Thunder Rosa Statlander.
Yep.
Julia and Mercedes Moné on one side. Harley Cameron and Athena on the lower side. So in the end, I'm thinking unknown, but it would be cool to see maybe a Billy Starks Athena, and Billy Starks takes the win, finally gets that win over Athena to get something. She doesn't win the belt that way. She gets a shot at the belt, so...
She gonna finish her story?
Maybe she can finish her story.
Maybe.
What do you guys want to talk about? Moving on to the men's version over here, you're getting Will Ospreay and Kevin Knight on one side.
Yep.
Brody King and Kinosuke on one side, same side. Briscoe versus Fletcher on the other. And Hangman versus Wildcard. I'm hoping it's Alexander. Josh.
So you're thinking a debut, huh?
I want a debut for that Wildcard. Give me some Josh Alexander.
And I think Kevin Knight took the place of Jay White.
Yes, for the injury. Kevin White kind of went in there. I kind of maybe thought that was coming anyway because Jay White did talk weird after a collision. It probably wasn't even on the air. It's probably cut off. That unknown.
He seemed to be favoring that wrist on Saturday.
And we kind of synced it.
Yeah.
We synced it. Let's roll through last couple things before we close. Another successful blitz. Collision. Monet, Harley versus Athena and Julia setting up for the Owen there, getting some matches together. Pac versus Cash, continuing that going on. Top Flight versus The Crew. New name for Leo and Action Andretti.
Yeah.
Speedball versus Delistico. Ricochet on commentary for that one. Hobbs and Ishii versus Kinosuke and Fletcher, the Callis family.
That'd be a good one.
Collision's going on live right now, probably, as a filming.
Yeah, I hope.
Looking forward to seeing what goes on there. Should be all good stuffs. I'm happy. Dynasty Sunday. Huge. Kenny versus Ricochet versus Speedball for the International.
Yep.
Going to be epic on that one. Tony versus Megan Bayne. Women's Championship on the line. Danny Garcia versus Adam Cole. TNT Championship. No time limits, no interference.
Yeah.
Must see a winner there. First round of Owen for the men, you're getting Ospreay versus Kevin Knight. That's going to be one hell of a banger.
Mm-hmm.
On the women's side, you're getting Monet and Julie Hart. Trios belts on the line, FTR versus Death Riders.
Yeah.
See what happens there.
Rated FTR.
Rated FTR. Tag titles also announced after the little segment there. Hurt Syndicate versus Big Bill and Brian Keith. And the main event, Swerve versus Mox.
Are we going to see that title change?
Hope to God. Hope to God. That's been a good Dynamite overall. Good. We'll catch you after Dynasty for next week and give you the thoughts of Dynasty, if you will. This has been The Blitz.
Bye.